Welcome back, guys. This is going to be part 10 of Dig Dug. We're going to get the control panel wired up and hopefully the speaker volume knob. Yesterday when I was doing a video and I was looking at my wiring that I wrote down for the control panel, I screwed up. I looked at the wrong side of the plug. These wires go to the control panel. The other side of the plug, for instance, this blue one is a white and blue stripe. This gray one is a white and gray stripe. The violet is a white and violet stripe. The green is a white and green stripe. So we'll just have to line those up afterwards. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to open this control panel up and we are going to take it down. Let it rest there. Should sit there fine. And we are going to work on soldering in the wires to the joystick and buttons. I'm gonna go get my headset. I'm gonna try to get you guys as close as I can so you can see what's going on, hopefully. Maybe. If I can move this stuff out of the way. Maybe I'll pull the cabinet out a little bit, that might help. Okay, I'm gonna go get my headlamp and I'll be right back. Okay, let's start getting these wires soldered on to here first, and then we will put them into the connector afterwards. All right, so the first wire we'll do is, let's do the two pump buttons. The pump buttons are green, so we need a green wire for that. What I'm doing is I'm stripping them and I'm running them through the hole on the leaf switch and kind of twisting them around. Then I'm going to route this wire nice and neatly above here. We'll zip tie them together afterwards. Need to cut this right there. Then we'll strip both of these, twist them together, and put them onto that terminal, and then we'll let the green wire hang over the edge. We'll worry about the other ends afterwards. Hopefully this won't take too long to put together, but we'll see what happens. I still have not really looked at the wiring for the volume knob and stuff like that, so I got to get to that and the test switch and all that. My solder gun's heating up right now, so while it's heating up, I will get some of these wires made and kind of laying in place. Oh, you know what? I don't have my solder over here. I'll have to go get my solder in a couple minutes. Okay, so the pump wire is hooked up, not the ground part, just the green part. Hopefully I'm not blinding you with my light. Okay, down is violet, purple, violet, whatever you want to call it. That's going to be down. So down is this leaf switch right here. I always like to move it just to verify it. I don't know why. I always forget. So there's my violet for down. Let's do up next. Up is white with a black stripe. Find that. Here we go. We got a white with a black stripe. I actually only had a white wire. So what I did was I took a Sharpie and I just drew a black line on it. Okay, so this is up, which will be this one over here. I'm gonna route my wires above the joystick. Okay, so that we have her up. Let's do our right, which is gray. Okay, right. It's down here. Okay, now we just have left, which is blue. Which is up here. Uh-oh, we got a broken leaf switch. I'm going to go grab another one. The terminal just broke off of it when I bent it back, but that's okay. I got to go get my solder anyways. So let me go grab a new leaf switch. This should just pop out of here. Yeah, okay. I don't have one with this plastic on it, but it should be all right. You know what? I do have one. I'm sorry. I got another leaf switch joystick I can take it off of. So let me go grab that and some solder. Okay, I've actually got one off of another leaf switch joystick that was actually missing 2 of the leaf switches on it already, so I don't mind stealing it from it. A regular leaf switch would probably work just fine, like one of these black, yeah, one of these new ones that I have would work as well, but that's okay. We'll keep them all matching. Just gotta get these old wires off of here. Ooh, it's hot. Kind of do this off camera here so I don't fling solder onto my control panel. Ooh, that's hot. Keep burning myself. Come on. All right. So now we can slide this one back in place. Okay, and that one is left, which I said left was blue, right? Yep, blue. Where'd my blue wire go? On the floor. Okay, we're gonna solder these all on real quick. Get these out of the way. Oh, I got notification today. Ken from Golden Age Arcade sent me a message saying that my rest of my wiring for Wizard of War shipped out this morning from Canada. It'll take a couple weeks to get, and then we can hopefully, fingers crossed, wrap that one up. That game makes me a little nervous because I know nothing about those board sets and the wiring. I know they're kind of finicky, so I don't want to screw something up and ruin the boards. So I'm going to have to really look everything over and test a bunch of wiring to make sure that voltages are right and everything. Okay. After this, we got to do the ground wires, and then we got to do the player 1 and player 2 start. We'll probably do the player 1 and player 2 start and then the ground wires for everything. Because not only do we have to do the player 1 and player 2 start, because I inhale a bunch of smoke, we have to do the lights on the buttons. Okay, so now we have those soldered on. Now let's go over to the lights. I'm going to kind of keep this book right here. So then we have 2 terminals right here. This is negative and positive. So they're using, one is a brown and the other negative is an orange. And then the reds are both positive. So we'll jump one red wire from here to here, or do I need to have 2 separate red wires? I'm not sure. Looks like there's only 1 red wire on this plug. Yep, there's only one red wire on that plug, so we will just jump red wire to red wire. Okay, let's do that first. Now, my buttons are in here opposite of what it is in the book. So I think what I'm going to do is spin the book upside down. And then there's one there and then two up here. So they're making this top one here. You're probably not really gonna be able to see it, but there's one here that is next to the two terminals. This is my negative. So this is player one up top here. So player one gets the brown wire. Once we get the control panel wired up, we will turn the game on and see if the controls work. And then we just have to figure out our volume. I cannot talk today. Sound like I'm drunk. It'd be understandable if I drank. All right, I'm just gonna solder this one right away. Then we'll do the orange one next, which is player two negative. Ken had asked me how I liked my terminals for the control panels. I said, don't waste your time crimping those ends on there because I solder mine on. So that saved him a little bit of work. Okay, so we need an orange wire for player two, light bulb ground. Oh wait, yeah. Got ahead of myself and thought we were doing the red wires for the power. Okay, so we'll put this on the same terminal on button number 2. Go ahead and solder this. My wire's kind of long on that one. I'm gonna strip off the excess, or cut off the excess so it doesn't touch anything else. Okay, good. All right, so my grounds are on. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the positive. 5 volts or whatever volts these are that come, I guess the circuit board itself controls these. This one's positive. Then we just have 2 more wires to solder on. Well, yeah, 2 more player 1 and player start wires, and then we gotta do all the grounds. Okay, let's come over to here. We'll cut this here. I'm not giving these wires a ton of slack. I want to keep them kind of close to each other and zip tie them all together and make them as neat as I can. We're almost done with this. If I can get this wired and that volume stuff wired, the only thing left to do is the high score saver, and then just stick the screen bezel and the marquee on when it comes. I'm excited to play this and suck at it until I practice it for a while. That's pretty much how it goes with every game anymore. I think the older you get, the harder your reflexes are. I don't know. Okay. These buttons, I try not to leave my solder gun on them too much because I'm afraid of loosening the terminals in the plastic housing. So try to work quickly with them. Now this booklet's supposed to have a wiring schematic in it when I bought this book. I actually just ordered it this week, and they had forgot to put it in the book. I guess it was out of the book, but they shipped it to me. I'll have it probably in a day or two, but I'll be done with it by then. But that's okay. I'll keep the book handy in case I ever need to go reference it again. Or who knows, if I ever restore another one, or God only knows. Okay, so now we have our 5 volts or whatever voltage that is. I keep saying 5 volts. I can't verify what voltage that actually is. Okay, now we have 2 wires left to hook up before the grounds. So now player 1, this second terminal down, is going to be white. I'm going to be doing some remodeling down in the basement this summer to get more games down here, and I'll have to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a couple walls down. I'm going to move a wall. We don't really use the basement other than the arcade, the bar, and the bathroom, so I have a little gym in here, down here, which I haven't used in years because my back got screwed up. But I don't want to get rid of it because in hopes maybe one day I can go back to using it again. But I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, the gym area. It's only one person working out. It's not like it needs to be big. Okay, so my white wire's on. So now we have one more wire, which is yellow, and that goes to the player 2 switch, which I've lost the yellow wire. There it is, underneath my seat. All right, let's get this yellow one on. And then we got to do all the grounds. We just have to loop them from switch to switch to switch all the way out. So once again, second terminal down. I hope you guys are all liking these videos, and hopefully they're helping some people out that are working on their projects, or like, I'm not a super technical guy as far as goes, like fixing circuit boards or really any heavy wiring or anything like that. I stumble through it, just put it that way. Okay, so now we can put this book down. We're done with it for now. Actually, I think we should be done with it for this part. So now we need to start looping the ground wires from switch to switch to switch to switch to switch, 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 and then out. Kind of wondering if I should stop the camera while I do all these grounds, but I'm gonna leave it going because it'll give you guys a good idea of how long it took to do. If I can ever get this second ground wire on. Solder these first 2 so they don't fall off on me. I need to get myself a cordless solder gun. I used to have one that worked on butane, but It worked all right. You couldn't use it outside though. Any bit of wind outside, the thing would just not heat up. But I'm gonna get another one, I think, for the basement. Because then if I gotta do a repair or something, let's say one of these leaf switches are bad or something like that, I could just use that little butane one and not have to drag out an extension cord and the soldering iron and everything else to just do like 1 or 2 solder joints. I think I got my last one was at Lowe's. It's the same brand, I think, that my little torches that I use for heat shrinking tube on the wiring. I think that's the same brand. I think I got them both at Lowe's, to be honest with you. We do a big Christmas light show that is synced to music from the computer. We usually start setting up end of October, beginning of November, and it runs, we started on Thanksgiving night, and it runs till New Year's night, or the night before New Year's, usually, or New Year's night, depending on when we have our New Year's party. And it's all pixels, RGB pixels. I think we're running somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 to 15,000 lights. Maybe this winter, as I'm setting everything up, we will do some videos on it, so you guys can kind of see what's involved with that. I actually got into doing the Christmas lights after I had already been into arcade games, so the transition from soldering and doing the little bit of wiring I do on arcade games to that was actually pretty easy. As far as the computer programming and stuff, I don't do any of that. My girlfriend does all that. I suck at computers horribly bad. I just don't really understand them. So she takes care of all that. She does help me set stuff up in the yard. But we have a 20-foot mega tree. It's 20 feet high, and there are, I think, 3,200 lights on it. Yeah, I think there's 3,200 pixel lights on it. But everything's synced to music. I don't know if I'll be able to really do videos on YouTube with music or not, or if they'll red flag me for copyright. Because we, do Christmas songs and we do regular songs and stuff like that. I don't know how that works. I'd have to see. I think we actually have a couple videos up there, maybe 1 or 2 on YouTube. But those lights are really hard to get a good video of because of the flash, the way they flash and everything. It's like the camera can't do it justice. It's like it can't really keep up with it. But if you guys look up, I think on YouTube there's a couple videos. It's called Lights on 193. But those videos would be years ago, probably 6-7 years ago. So they're old. A lot of things have changed since then. Maybe not that old, but they're pretty old. I honestly haven't looked in a while. But we're getting there with these ground wires. We have 5 of them done now. 3 more to go. And then we can start wire tying this together and Molex put the Molex ends on. Then we can get them into the plug and hopefully get this thing to work. Drop solder on my pants that burned a little bit. I have like bins of extra wiring. Anytime I buy a game or I rip a game apart, and if the wiring's decent, I just keep throwing it in these bins, and then I cut it out of these bins when I need to do stuff like this. Works out nice. These wires all came off of a JAMA harness, an old JAMA harness. Okay, that bottom terminal, I believe, is the ground. Just want to verify that. Yes, the bottom terminal is ground, across from the red wire. Where did I put my wire at? Here it is. I got Popeye cabinet in the house. It's just upstairs in my kitchen right now. Don't have anybody to help me carry it downstairs right now. And I don't want to risk ruining it. Not ruining it, but scratching it or anything like that. So I'm just going to wait. Can sit up there for now. But I will be putting that together next week. I believe the artwork's supposed to be here at the beginning of the week. I think it said the 8th through the 10th, so I think that's Monday through Wednesday. It's supposed to be here one of those days. It's coming from the Netherlands. There was a guy that did direct to acrylic, screen bezel, and marquee. Those are the only people that did it, other than the screen printed ones from this old game, but I'll never get it, so I don't use them. And everybody else does vinyl. I'm sorry. Yeah, for Popeye. This one, so Popeye I have coming from the Netherlands. It is a control panel, screen bezel, marquee, and some random stickers, little stickers. We printed the side art yesterday, so we have that done. But that's all direct printed to the acrylic, and the screen bezel is a tinted bezel like the original. Now this artwork, the screen bezel and the marquee, the only person I can find to do it in a reasonable amount of time was Joe Zabo, and he uses vinyl that gets applied to the back side of acrylic, and I think he prints onto clear, sticks it on the back, and then he puts white vinyl over it so that there is, you know, white, because these printers won't print white. I'm sure you can buy a printer that prints white, but I don't have one, and I don't think he does either. The only other way you get white would be to screen print. Okay, so he hasn't shipped yet for these, but that's not a big deal. When we get them, we will just pop them in. It'll only take a couple minutes. Okay, all these are soldered. So now I'm gonna go grab some zip ties. We're gonna try to zip tie this all up and make it as neat as possible. I kind of screwed up on this one. This white wire is kind of on the wrong side of this ground wire. I wonder if I can unsolder that real quick. Spin that around so it doesn't look like that. Let me just see here without burning the crap out of myself. Maybe. Ooh, it's hot. If you noticed, I'm really good at burning myself. Oh, I just broke another leaf switch. All right. Couldn't leave well enough alone, could I? All right, well, since I broke that, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this. These leaf switches suck. Guess I'll go get another leaf switch. Man, I soldered the crap out of this thing. I can't even get it off the damn leaf switch. I'm just gonna cut it. Okay, let me go grab another leaf switch, and I will also grab zip ties so that we can get this zip tied together, and then we'll start putting our ends on. And once we get all our Molex ends crimped on, we can slide them into the plug one at a time. All right, take the wires off of this one as I trip on everything. Okay. I'm gonna install this purple wire before I slide it into place. Probably, I'll just do both of them. I won't be able to hold it. Make sure I put it on the right way this time. I need to, there we go. Strip these two black wires now. Stay out of the way, green wire. Jesus. I need a third hand. They're not going to cooperate. Zip tie. Okay. Turn off my solder gun. We're done with that for now. Now there are some sticky things in here that hold the wires to the metal of the control panel. So we're going to run the zip tie through those and around the wires. So yeah, I'll probably do some videos this summer of me working on the basement, taking out the wall, a couple walls, moving them, and so you guys can kind of see what's going on. If you guys would like to see that stuff. Eventually, once I get the basement all done, I want to get black light reflective carpet, and I found it in carpet squares. It's expensive, but it would really make this basement look awesome. And I have some black lights I can use. I'm going to put some more black lights down here, shine them on the carpet to really get it to glow. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think that'll be a really cool thing. But that's going to be a while. For now, I need to get the walls moved. I'm not going to worry about some of the carpet tiles that I currently have are going to be missing here and there. I have some more extra tiles, but I don't know if I'm going to even worry about putting them in. Just because it's all going to be coming out eventually anyways. And where the walls are coming out and where the games are going, they're going to be covering up the concrete for the most part anyways. Okay, I'm going to put one more zip tie for now, and then I'm not going to zip tie any farther because I need to put the ends on these wires and I want to have a little room to work with it. So let's just stick one more on here. Then we're going to figure out how long we want to have this. I want to make it a little bit longer because that one's not real long down there. So that we have enough room to be able to swing this open all the way and be able to have it plugged in. So let's take this and we'll stick it in the cabinet here and look what we got going on here. Okay. Okay, they're all cut to the right length right now. So now we can start stripping these and getting these terminals on the ends. Oh, I did order another one of these kits the other day. They're on eBay. They're like 35 bucks. I think they're right around 35 bucks. They come with, you can get 2-prong. They come with 2-prong, 4-prong, I think even 3-prong. Yeah, there's a 3-prong here. So they have a bunch of different sizes it comes with, and it comes with all the pins. And they're, I think it was like maybe $40 shipped. So I definitely would recommend getting that if you guys are into, you know, doing a lot of games. Okay, now on the harness in the cabinet, they're female. So we need the male pins. So we need to put the male pins on the ends of all these wires. So we're going to strip them all first. Don't want to strip them too long. We're going to strip them and twist them. Then we're going to sit here and crimp on. How many we got here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 or 9 wires. This is 3. I give Ken from Golden Age Arcade a lot of credit. I don't know that I can do this all day. That's what he does. Okay. Now it's terminal time. Make sure my camera is seeing what's going on here. Yes, it is. I think we're good. Now I put the terminal into this first. So it goes in like this. Just like that. This will hold it. It'll stay shut on you so it doesn't fall out. We just slide our wire in. You want your casing to go into the outside part. Now, I always double crimp these. I start with the big one and I go down to the middle one. Because it seems like if you start with the middle one, the prongs are too far apart on the pin and they don't want to go into the tool. See how these are kind of spread at an angle this way and this way? So if I try to jam them in here, they don't want to fit. But I can get them in this one. Barely. But they go in that one. So I just double do them. Just do them twice. It actually goes pretty quick once you get used to doing it. Then we just got to line them up to the other plug, the wires, and we will be ready to test it. And then I will have to go off camera for a little bit, see if I can't figure out the wiring for the service switch, volume knob, and coin counter. I think that's it. Coin counter I'm not too worried about. It's going to be on free play anyways. I guess if somebody wanted to buy it in the future, they can always hook it up. I don't know that I have the wiring for it. I don't know if it's a separate harness or not, because it looks like it has a separate plug to it. I can't tell. I got to look at it afterwards. But we do need to cut the plug end off of that because there is one too many volume pots on there. We don't need both of them. I might just take the other volume pot off of there and save it for if I need it for another game. We're getting there. We almost have them all on. I got a lot done in the past couple days. I had a couple days off of work. I need to work on that car out there. I want to get it done and out of here, but I'm still waiting on parts. So I'm just trying to stay busy and get stuff done. But yeah, I've managed to get this game pretty much together, and I got the Popeye all body worked and painted. So that's ready for assembly. I don't know anything about the monitor yet. No clue if it works. We'll worry about that once we get the wiring done. I think we got them all. I think I've got them all. Let's double check. Looks like we got them all. So now we have to see which plug it is. I think it's a 12 pin. Yep, it's 12 pin. Square 12 pin here. Do I have a 12 pin? There's a 9. Here's a 12 pin. Let's see if this one's the right one. Yes, it is. Okay, now we need to start putting the wires in. We have red, red goes here. These just push in, clip right in, you're done. Black is right next to it, right here. All right, there's a green wire, but I'm not going to say for sure that that's the pump wire. So let's go to the farthest hole down on the red side. That is, can't tell if that's white and red or white and orange. Looks like it's a white and orange, and there's 2 of them. So the white and orange should go to white. I'm sorry, the white and orange should go to orange. Hopefully I'm right. Don't know why there's 2. Okay, and then one up from that is... Damn, I can't see these. Yellow. So yellow's above the orange. Above the yellow is... These stripes are so little on these white wires, it is hard. Purple. So purple. Okay, the first 4 are done. Let's move over to the next one over, next to the orange, which is white with a red stripe. And I already have red on there. So I'm not sure on that one. We're just going to leave it as is for now, because I'm going to say that solid red wire is probably what I need. Wait, right here, white and red. Oh, that's for... All right, I'll let that go for now. Above the white and red, we have a green. Looks like green. And then above that, gray and white. So green, we're going to skip that lower one. We're going to put our green in. We're going to put our gray in. Okay, now we are going to go to the last row, and we're going to skip the bottom one. Second one up is blue. So we got blue. Ah, forgot an end. So second one up is blue. Okay, the one above blue is can't tell. white with a black stripe. So that should go to this white and black. Because technically, yeah, this one should go here. Now we have 2 wires left. We have a brown wire and a white wire, which is player 1 and player 2. So I wonder if this one is not orange and brown, orange and white. I wonder if it's brown and white. Yes, it is. Okay, it's brown and white, I believe. I can't tell. That looks orange. They both look orange. It's a real pain in the butt. I have to look that up. Okay, let me look up the wiring diagram again and see what I come up with. Okay, I turned the game on. I have not plugged it in yet. This should be pin 1, which is player 1 start. This should be player 2 start. I was correct on the red and black. This should be my voltages. This green wire over here, I don't have it yet, but I've got to take a green wire from here, bring it up to the control panel, and hook it up to this bent piece of metal right here. This is a ground connection. So we're gonna hook it up to ground, and then it goes into this pin. What I'm gonna do with my multimeter here is I am going to check the voltages on the red and black wire on this harness, just to verify that, which I don't know if it's gonna do anything or not. Okay, 5.2 volts. Okay, perfect. And we are in the right spot for that. Okay, so now the only thing I want to do is I'm going to go get a green wire so that we can make a ground and properly hook that up as well. Just so that we're completely hooked up. And then we can go ahead and plug it in and test the controls. Oh boy, almost dropped all those all those. Actually, I have a green wire here, which looks like it's going to be long enough. So I just need to get myself a ground wire, or a ground loop. I'll crimp that on here real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I crimped and heat shrunk a end on here. We are going to bolt it into here first. I'm actually going to scratch a little bit of the paint off just to get a proper ground. Okay. Might take me a minute of messing with it. Trying to figure out the best way to put the wire on. I think I'm gonna put it underneath so it's out of the way when I put the latch on the control panel. But it's kind of a real tight spot here. I'll try to get this, hold this nut on and screw this in. This might take a while. Can't get the nut on there. Got it. Beautiful. All right. Hopefully this wire is long enough. Or if I can fit it in these zip ties. Nope. We will just put a couple more zip ties on. Not the end of the world. Okay. Okay. Oh man, it's like the perfect length. How often do you get lucky like that? Okay, let's get this last terminal on. And then one more zip tie. And we should be good to go. Maybe two more zip ties. And fingers crossed, it works. Then we just have volume. And then high score saver. Yeah, pole position can get annoying from time to time. I don't have the attract sounds on my games. I usually leave them off. Okay, we are good there. Now what I need to do is kind of make sure these leaf switches are going to make contact. Okay, we're going to go ahead and plug it in, see what happens. Okay, we are plugged in. I'm gonna have to score credit it up because I don't have the high score saver in yet. So let's put a credit on it. Still don't have any volume, obviously, but we can stick a credit on it. Or three. Let's see what happens. Okay, those are both blinking. Very good. Player one. Let's see if the joystick works or not. And the pump buttons. The joysticks might not work yet because of the leaf switches. Okay, it's going right. It's going left. It's going up. And he's going down. They're a little hesitant. It needs... Okay, that pump button's working. Let's try the other pump button. Beautiful. Okay, this is working. Awesome. I want to try player two. So I'm going to kill myself. Oh, I still have my light on. Duh. I'm going to hit the player two button next. The lights are not flashing on the player buttons because it's not currently, you know, it doesn't have credits in it. Oh man, how many guys you get? 5? 4? 5, I think. Now, I don't know if the dip switch settings are right or not. You know, what they have it set on. But I'm just going to try to kill myself here. Alright, so now, game's over. See if there's any credits left. Okay, there's 2 credits left. These are both flashing now. So let's hit the player 2 button. Let's make sure player 1 and player 2 both work. So we're just going to kill ourselves with the player 1, and then we'll just make sure the player 2 works, the button, as far as that button, because the controls are going to work. Okay, player 2 guys coming down. Should be good to go. Just double check it. go up here and pump this guy up. Yep, we are working. Beautiful. Okay, so now I am going to stop for a few minutes. I'm going to look up the wiring diagram for the volume. Okay, I made some notes and I figured out some stuff on this. The wires are really far in the cabinet. I can always go in from the back side if I have to. But my volume knob is white, brown, and orange. Test switch is black and a white and black wire. Then there's a coin counter, which is blue and orange. I'm sorry, blue and then orange with a white stripe. Now this game's supposed to have 2 coin counters. This only has 1 coin counter on it. There's another slot for one here, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. It's a 12-pin connector and it's female. The female ends are already on this. So we need another 12-pin connector, female side. This is the male side, I believe. I might not have one. I might not have one. Let me go look and see, but it's not looking promising. Which means I might have to wait until this kit comes, which will be tomorrow. Let me go check my other bins and see if I can find one or not. All right, I do not have a female 12 pin. So this is going to end part 10. There is no point in going on because I can't hook that up. I'm sure I could shove a couple wires in to see if it works, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to wait. I should have that other kit tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow, but when I get home from work, we can hopefully wire that up. As long as that works, then we will hook up the high score saver, and then that'll wrap up this game at part 11, other than just needing to get the artwork. So, all right, guys, this is part 10. Thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, please like and subscribe. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow.